Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's workshop, LinkedIn 101. My name is Shantae Rivers. I am the Senior Relationships Manager for the Towson University Continuing and Professional Studies. I'm thrilled to partner with the TU Career Center today. Shortly, I will introduce you to Leah Fondersmith. But before I do, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we offer at Towson University Continuing and Professional Studies. Many of you on this call today may be familiar with our offerings, so I won't take up too much of your time. We offer live instructor-led courses, as well as self-paced options that offer flexible learning and that can fit into pretty much anyone's busy schedule. Every course we offer is designed to meet your career goals. I work with a team that's here to support. We do what we consider a 360 support, where everything from me helping you select the course to getting you set up in our learning management system, ensuring you receive materials, and checking on you when you actually get started with the course. So you will be fully supported throughout the process. Many of our students are eligible for discounts. Right now, our instructor-led courses are starting in March are eligible for a 20% discount. These courses include project management, professional and human resources, CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus, and we also offer a certified medical coding course that also qualifies for that discount. Feel free to reach out to me at crivers@towson.edu. I'll be happy to answer any questions and discuss your career goals with you. At this time, I'd like to turn the presentation over to Leah from the Towson University Career Center. During the presentation, please use the chat functionality to submit any questions you might have for us. We'll get to a few at the end of the presentation. All right, Leah, over to you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. Looking forward to sharing with you all some tips and tricks and just a general introduction into LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We'll go ahead and get started. So just wanted to start off with just an introduction into why LinkedIn and your online presence is so important. It's actually standard practice for recruiters and HR professionals to Google applicants. So when you submit an application, they may just go to the Google function, search your name, see what comes up in images or other links. And it can be really helpful if you have a LinkedIn profile, and that can be the first thing they click on to really show an introduction into you as a professional individual. Some information, and this is all from Career Builder, but of the hiring managers that use social media to research potential hires, actually 51% found information that caused them not to hire the applicant, and 23% found content that directly led them to hiring a candidate. And some of those things you could do to showcase on your LinkedIn profile or your other social media accounts that have directly led recruiters to hiring are awards, references, and recommendations from former supervisors and coworkers, your communication skills, showing your creativity, just an overall professional image with maybe a headshot or posting about a charity event that you attended, and just supporting qualifications that are required for the job you're applying to, as well as your overall personality. So LinkedIn, real briefly, is a social media network. It's an opportunity to you to showcase your personal brand and promote who you are on a professional level. Basically, you can bring who you are to what you do and how you do it, and you can connect with other industry professionals while also promoting yourself for future opportunities. So when you have your LinkedIn profile, there are a couple different elements, and we're going to go through all these different sections for LinkedIn so you can start implementing them on your own accounts. You'll have a professional photo, a headline, a summary. You'll showcase your experience, everything from volunteer work or coursework, your education, organizations that you're currently a member of or professional associations, your volunteer experience and skills, as well as various honors and awards or current projects that you're working on. So let's start with the photo. So on LinkedIn, you're going to upload a photograph of yourself, and this should be something that is from your chest up. It should not be full body, but more so a headshot. And if you don't have a professional headshot available, that's perfectly okay. It's actually really easy to create one on your own nowadays with all the technology we have available to us. So what I usually recommend is that you get professionally dressed. Again, you only have to do the top up if you'd like. Show a little bit of personality, so you want to show a smile, and you can just use your iPhone or phone with a nice calm background, or you could do something outside in nature, and it should be cropped where it's just the chest up. And this is just a quick image reference for employers. We'll see some examples. After your photo, you're going to have a headline. When you create your LinkedIn profile, it will actually default to your current position. So it'll default to your title at XYZ organization. You're not going to want to stick with that default. You're going to want to edit that and instead be more strategic with what you put there. And this is usually the very first thing that recruiters and other folks that you're connecting with on LinkedIn see. They see your picture and your headline. So you're going to want to claim your niche. Think of keywords that are relevant to the industry that you're in or pursuing. And think about a very specific benefit or focus area. So some examples could be teacher candidate, passionate about helping all children reach their full potential, tax accounting student, Big Four intern who loves numbers and problem solving. You could also do your expert status. So again, using keywords and subject matter, who does XYZ for blank audience. So student leader, building diverse and effective teams, mobile app developer specializing in the following. So the goal is to get them to click on your profile if they are searching for candidates, and have people get really an idea of what you do and who you're about. You want to avoid the very overused and cliche buzzwords like strategic, creative, and responsible. They're actually on the list of most overused and meaningless words on LinkedIn profiles. So here's some more examples of headlines, and these are taken from LinkedIn. Okay, so after your headline, you're going to have a summary. And more often than not, I see that this section of the LinkedIn profile is actually left out, and people don't take the opportunity to fill this in. But it can be really helpful to introduce individuals to who you are. You want to be engaging and original. So think about who your audience is. If you are creating a LinkedIn profile because you are searching for a job, what do you want them to know about you? Highlight the industry that you'd like to be in. So even if you're transitioning and looking for a new career, changing industries, think about the skills that you have that are relevant to the job or industry you're transitioning into. You can find keywords from job descriptions, job postings, and even other folks' LinkedIn profiles to get inspiration and ideas. Content. So you'll include your accomplishments, and this could be awards or recognition that you've received, what you're passionate about, or some numbers, so facts and figures to really back up your skill set. And avoid, again, the cliche words like detail-oriented and competent communicator. So next on your LinkedIn profile is going to be the experience section. So this is where you're going to list every job that you've had. You don't have to literally list every single thing if you don't want to. You can keep it to the relevant. But the nice thing about LinkedIn is opposed to your resume, where your resume is a highlight reel. It's one page. It's very concise. LinkedIn can be inclusive of everything that you've done that you would like to share. So you don't have to leave anything out if you don't want to. So you can include your part-time, full-time jobs that you've had, and you can even attach presentations, photos, or videos of you at work. The next section is organizations. So you can include if you've been a member of any organizations, whether it be a professional association like American Marketing Association, or if you during your education attended any clubs, you can include that there. And then education, you're going to start with college, listing all your educational experiences, including summer programs, when you graduated, the major, your concentration, GPA, awards, recognitions, and so forth. There is a project section. More often than not, I see this section blank and left out. So I would say this is probably one of the more optional sections. If you don't want to include this, that's okay, but it can be a really nice addition to your profile and set you apart. So this is where you can include an example of a project that you worked on. So whether you led an assignment or school, or you built an app on your own in your professional career, you can talk about what you did, how you did it, and also include like a PowerPoint that you worked on, or actually the project that you did itself. So think of it as like your portfolio. And then there's a section called recommendations. So when you think of like letter of recommendations when you're applying for, graduate school, or references when you are applying to jobs, the recommendations are individuals that can support and back up your qualifications and your experience. So you will request a recommendation. You can actually do that directly through LinkedIn. I'll show you more about how to do this in a bit, but you can ask managers, professors, classmates, previous coworkers, current coworkers, who you've worked with closely to write a recommendation. And it's always good practice to then write them one in return. And this just gives you extra credibility. So when you're creating your LinkedIn profile, you're going to, this is kind of what the home page looks like for LinkedIn. You'll create an account. And one of the very first things you're going to work on is your privacy settings and customizing your URL. So on the upper right-hand side, it'll say edit public profile and URL. You're going to want to click on that. And then it'll bring up this toolbar on a separate, a next page, that you're going to have to adjust your privacy settings. Good practice to make sure that your profile is public. So again, when recruiters or HR professionals are searching for candidates, they can find you. And also you make sure your profile photo is visible. I think it defaults to your profile photo not being public. You might need to make that change on your own. Because if, let's say, I was trying to look for candidates and your profile photo wasn't there, I'm not going to be as inclined to click on it because I don't know what you look like. So definitely make that public. There are some studies that show that folks that do have professional photos are more likely to get to the next round. So sorry there. Okay, so the next part, it talks about background photo, headline, summary, and you're going to have to click on each one of those individually to indicate that you'd like to show that to the public. So also to increase your professional results, I mentioned making it public, but you can customize your URL. It defaults to like a bunch of random letters and numbers, but you can instead make it your first and last name. So you could copy and paste that URL, put it on your resume so that they can click on that directly. Okay. So the experience section looks something like this. When you are creating your experience, you will click on the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner to add an experience, and then you'll click on the pencil to actually input that experience there. You'll want to include your experiences in bullet point format opposed to paragraph. It's just easier to scan and read. And it'll automatically put it in a certain, you can adjust like the order you want to put it in, but if you've had the same organization but multiple jobs within that organization, it'll automatically link it into one area. There's also a skills and endorsement section of your profile after experiences where you can include skills that you've developed, and then you can have colleagues endorse those skills to basically back up that you have those skills. When you're deciding what skills to put on your LinkedIn profile, a good rule of thumb is, again, take a look at job postings and descriptions for positions that you're interested in maybe pursuing. What skills are being listed on there, and then put those on your profile if you have those skills. Or take a look at other folks' LinkedIn profiles that work in the industry you're wanting to pursue. So you can look at their profile and see what skills they have and then use the same ones on yours. One thing I will note about LinkedIn is LinkedIn, you will have to adjust your settings if you would like to search and click on individuals' profiles anonymously. Otherwise, people will be notified when you look at their profile. So if you want to be secretive about who you snoop on and who you click on, make sure you go to that setting and adjust the privacy settings to be anonymous. In turn, you will not be able to see who clicks on your profile. Recommendations. So here's an example of the recommendation section. It just includes, people that you've worked with, you've asked for a recommendation for, and you can click on the Ask for Recommendation button to send a message to folks that you're connected with to write a recommendation for you. So now that you've had your profile set up to completion, you're going to want to do a couple things. We're going to go over best practices, but you want to connect with individuals that you know on a professional level. Again, this could be, or it doesn't have to be professional, it could be friends and family. But you want to connect with individuals to start building your presence. And you can also use this platform to search. So you can search for jobs. I actually really love the job searching feature on LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you just a quick idea of what that looks like here. So one of the nice things about this platform for searching for jobs is that you can filter by experience level. I think a common problem that individuals have is identifying whether or not a position is entry level, mid-career, more senior level, especially when folks are graduating from college and they're new to an industry or transitioning. It's like, am I really qualified for this job? So you can break it into only searching for entry level positions or mid-career, senior level. And you can also filter by LinkedIn features. Now there are a couple of different LinkedIn features. Unfortunately, I don't see any of them up on the screen here, but there's one called Easy Apply. An Easy Apply makes it really convenient to submit applications to jobs. So let's say this recruiting coordinator position at Amazon had an Easy Apply button. And instead of it saying apply right there on the screen, it would say Easy Apply. All you do is click on that button and you will submit your application with your LinkedIn profile and you're done. It's as easy as that. Also, some of them will show you how many applicants there have been for that job. So you can see this comp and benefits specialist at Sandy Spring Bank only has one applicant. Keep in mind that might just be through this platform. They might have it advertised other places and it could have more. You can also use LinkedIn to connect, like I mentioned. So search for individuals, hit that connect button. If you are wanting to find individuals in the industry that you're in or pursuing that you do not know, but want to build a connection with and expand your network, you can do that really easily by exploring the alumni feature. So you can go to Towson University or any other university page and click on alumni, and then you can search where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied, their class year, and keywords to find folks that you might want to connect with. I will say, if you decide to connect with somebody that you do not know, whenever you hit that connect button, it'll ask you if you want to add a personal note. Always add a personal note. Otherwise, they're going to be less likely to accept your connection because they don't know you. So LinkedIn best practices. Connect. So connect with individuals that you know, that you've had experience with, that you work with, and you can also connect with individuals that you do not know and are wanting to expand your network. Join. So you can join groups on LinkedIn. You can also endorse your coworkers for skills they have in that skills and endorsement section. And you can also follow companies and organizations. So let's say you really, really want to work for Morgan Stanley. And so you follow Morgan Stanley, and then you'll start seeing Morgan Stanley post on your news feed when you log in, similar to Facebook. And so you'll be able to see, what they're up to, what they're promoting, what they're proud of. And then if you submit an application, you can include that information you learned from following them in your application, whether it be the cover letter or your interview. So it's just really helpful to get, real-time news and information on companies you're interested in. They also might post, hey, we're starting XYZ program, a fellowship program or an internship program, or we're hiring for certain positions. You can follow not just big companies, but small local companies too. How not to use LinkedIn. So you should not be using LinkedIn just to connect with interviewers or beg for jobs. So if you are connecting with individuals who do not know to expand your network, you don't want to be messaging them looking for jobs. You could message them in return, trying to establish a relationship and having casual career conversations about what they do. At the end of that casual career conversation, you could ask about opportunities, but you should not be using it just to ask random people for jobs. One good rule of practice and what some people do is just letting your network know that you're actively searching if you are actively searching for jobs. So you could post on your feed, currently looking for positions, just so your network knows that you're open to opportunity. And again, don't connect with total strangers unless there's a reason and you're establishing that personal note. So don't just start clicking on random people's profiles. And don't go crazy over endorsing a skill for just one person. And with that, I'd like to open up the opportunity for some questions. So if there are any questions in the chat feature, we're happy to take those, or you can feel free to email us if you have any questions.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you so much for that great presentation. As Leah just stated, we do not have any questions. We had one about my email, and I sent that off. I didn't see any others come through, but if you do have any, we do have a few more minutes that we are open to taking any questions. And if you do not, again, thank you, Leah, for the great presentation. Thank you all who have logged on today. And yeah, have a great day, guys. I think that's it. I will be sending out an email to all of our attendees recapping what Leah has shared with us. So you will get some reference information. And again, my email is crivers@towson.edu. So have any questions, email me. I'll be glad to get back to you. All right. Well, thank you so much, Leah. Thank you for everybody for attending. All right, everybody have a nice day.
Thank you.